It's a St. Clair attack! Ah! So we talked about St. Clair yesterday in our little short, and I wanted to kind of go over some of the books I have on St. Clair because lots of people know lots about St. Francis, but not so much about St. Clair. So I don't even have like every book. I'm not an authority on her at all, but she's somebody that I've been trying to study. So I'm just going to kind of give you a book walk and an overview of what to expect from these books. This book is a fun favorite of mine. It's from the Pauline sisters, right? The media nuns. It is St. Clair of Assisi, a runaway rich girl, and it is in manga style, but it gives you a quick overview of her life just to get you started. It's an introduction. It's very beautifully done. I totally loved this book. I thought it was great. I've shared it with some neighbors. They've got some others that are both done in manga and otherwise for kids. I admit this is a kid's book. I'm not ashamed. So the Daughters of St. Paul. How do you find them? Oh, www.paulinestore.org. So if your kids are needing something to do, their series of kids books are wonderful. I loved this one. I really did. It was a great introduction of St. Clair. Another one I did then, I grabbed this one. St. Clair, Beyond the Legend by Marco Bartoli. It was translated by Sister Frances Teresa Downing, OSC. And I thought this was going to be a great one for me. But the problem was, I feel like it assumed I had more knowledge about Clare, like that I knew the legend, because it's not just, I don't think it's saying legend in the secular way. So I thought it was like, if you've read a book like this tells you the truth behind it. That wasn't really what it was. Okay, so what did it mean? If you remember our giant 3-volume book on St. Francis, the early documents, and then we had the index to it, there's a companion book, Clare of Assisi, the lady. And in here, it actually has the official legend of St. Clare, and I think that's what the other book was referring to. So when I started reading this, it didn't make sense to me because I'm not there yet. So this is all the essential documents. We have very little written documents by St. Clare, but this is what we have. It's in there. It has like her original decree of canonization is in it, her official legend. And there's a lot of Franciscan documents at the end, so this looks bigger than it should be because it's not really all Clare. They added Franciscan documents in the back. So of course it has the letters, different letters between Clare and Agnes of Prague. Now, I don't think that we have from Agnes back to Clare. I think we only have from Clare to Agnes. And there are 4 of them. And then the Testament, the Blessing. And then there were letters to her in her form of life from the popes and all. Let's see here. Letter of Cardinal Hugulio. Yes. And notification of death. So most of these aren't even by her. They're about her. So there's not a lot on her, but what there is in here. Then there's somebody else. Remember I said about Sister Frances Teresa Downing? She also translated these. So she also has St. Clare of Assisi. Volume 1 is the original writings, and Volume 2 is the context of her life. So it's kind of what's in the other book, but this is done differently. So that's like straight up the documents. Now, how this book does them, how she chose to do them, is she's got more of a segue into it. Okay, let's jump in here. The second letter of St. Clare to Agnes of Prague. And it's going to give us the context and date, the theme, things to note. Even there's a prominent number that Clare uses in there. And then, the original text in Latin, and it's translated, right? So she's got that, as well as the footnotes that would have been referred to different Bible verses. And then at the end, there's still more notes. So she's giving you context and history and a little bit of, how would I say it? I mean, context, and like a commentary on the essential documents. So it's not just the essential documents. It's got commentary, history, and analysis, all that going on, and that's what's in these two books. So they're completely different, right? And I do have another book and I can't find it. It's by Murray Bodo, and it talks about Clare as being the little plant of St. Francis, is what she called herself. And so it has like a gardening flower kind of theme, and of course it's all poetry, and it's lovely, but you can't compare it to any of these. I mean, it's Murray Bodo. It's a book of poetry about St. Clare. So those are the ones. Oh, I think one of them's upside down. Those are the ones that I have. That's what I get from them. If there's any that you're interested in, read the description. I'm going to type these up, you know, a little citation in the description so that you can look at them if there's any that you're interested in ordering to learn more about St. Clare. Okay, friends, that was our short for today. Not super short, but kind of short. God bless you, friends. Bye.